Hello, everyone. Are you sick of me yet? Well, actually, I was live yesterday. Mike's sick of me. I was live yesterday afternoon, but not all of you were there. It was a. Oh, everyone. Hold on. Sorry. I was watching Friends right before this, so my sound's on. I was live yesterday afternoon, but it was on a class for Pink Fresh. So not all of you were there, but some of you were there. It was fun. Welcome. I just got a text from Christopher that said he's watching and that I'm gorgeous. Thank you, Christopher. That's Christopher Allen from Brutus Monroe. He always tells me I'm gorgeous. I love it. I'm glad you're all here. Mike is.
He drinks a lot?
Mike says he must drink a lot. Anyways, for those who don't know, my brother is Mike, and so he gives me a lot of crap. So anyways, oh, good. I'm glad you're all here. I am very excited about today because once again, I am doing two things that I've been wanting to do more of, which is use older products and like different products, things that are unique. I use a lot of florals, and I know that because I enjoy the florals, but I've been trying to make a bigger effort to use other things too, just so you can see a variety. So I have three very unique themes today that I'm going to share with you. I have many cards planned, and most of them are like I've prepped it so that they won't be long. Hi, Simon. I got your new inks out today, and I need to label them. I just got them out of the box today in my craft room. So yeah, I've got many cards planned, but I've prepped a lot of them. So I have three different themes. Now, the cool thing is after this live, I'll be using one collection at the beginning. And when this live is over, I have a video I'm going to put up right afterwards using that collection also so you can see more ideas. So after this live is over, I will take a breather and then I'll go and make a pre-recorded video live that you can also watch for more ideas. And I'll explain why in a few moments. Hi, Victoria and Rachel and Linda. I'm glad you're all here. So I'm using Spellbinders today. I'll be focusing on three older collections that I've wanted to use that I feel are a fun, unique theme. But keep in mind, I'll be showing a variety of techniques and sharing a lot of tips throughout it. So if you look at one of the collections and think like it's not something you can relate to, that's okay. I am going to show you, things that you can do to make your cards unique using different products too. Okay, so I'm using Spellbinders today. And I had told Spellbinders that I wanted to use one of these collections. It's a collection from a really great crafter. Her name's Bibi Cameron. And they said, wonderful, we'll give you a discount code for that collection. Then when they sent me the information, it said the discount code was site-wide, which I didn't expect and I'm very excited about. So Spellbinders is offering my friends, all of you, an exclusive code that gives you 20% off site-wide, and that's on the US and the UK Spellbinders website. You have to use the code. You have to use the code. And you got to use the link that's at the top of my YouTube description under the special offers. So it's 20% off site-wide, and it's only for 24 hours. Starting, I think it ends tomorrow at this time, okay? So it's 20% off. So if you've been wanting to get craft stacks or cardstock or a BetterPress, now is a great time, okay? So I'm very excited about that. Mike, can you show the image? This is look at. So you use the code musical20 and you get 20% off site-wide, okay? Very generous, isn't that? So the first collection I'm going to use is this music theme collection that my friend Bibi created. But then I'll be doing two other collections or two other cards after that are very different, very different. So I wanted to have a good variety today, but I'll do a few in this musical collection. But the code says musical20 because that's what we planned on using. But it's 20% off site-wide for 24 hours. All of the information is at the top of my YouTube description below. Isn't that great? So I will talk as we go. You can come back here, Mike. I will talk as we go about things from Spellbinders that I use a lot. You know that I love their craft stacks. I use them for all of my prep. I use these a lot. Those will be 20% off. BetterPress will be 20% off, and their beautiful cardstock will be 20% off. I'll talk about all that. Now, if you're not shopping, totally get it. Totally get it. I am dying to buy summer dresses, but I'm not shopping right now. So I look and I look and I don't buy. So I totally get it. I totally get it. But I will be sharing lots of fun things that you can do. Okay. Today is very die cut heavy. Yeah. Variations of techniques I've been doing a lot in videos lately because I've really been enjoying them and they work great with these themes. All right. So again, it's 20% off site-wide, top of the YouTube description for information on that. So the first collection I'm going to use is from Bibi Cameron. Bibi is one of my favorite crafters. You know that I love JC and I love Yana and I love Dawn, and Bibi's on that list too. She is a fantastic crafter with a beautiful accent and just wonderful ideas. I've had her as a guest on my YouTube channel before, and I will have a video that Bibi put together with lots of things to do with this musical collection that I'll put up when this live is over. So I'm going to show you some ideas, and then when this live is over, I'll put up her video on my channel, which will show more ideas. I asked her if she could do a video for us. Please know I compensate people. I'm not taking advantage of these artists, but her cards are beautiful, and she's going to walk you through a lot of the different things that you can do with the collection. And I'm going to do some things today too. So I encourage you, when this live is over or later tonight, you can go watch her video too. I do have linked in my YouTube description below, and Brianne put in the chat a link to Bibi's channel on YouTube. She is fantastic. She has a blog. She has a few lines of products with Spellbinders. She did one a while ago that was like a cat and dog. And then she did a guest video for me for that, I think. And then she also did one that was like hummingbirds, and I did a ton of cards with those. So she's done several collections with Spellbinders, and I've loved all of them because they're well thought out and unique. Okay, and yeah, she is very talented, and her voice, oh, I just love it. But she shows many cards and steps in her video, and I'm going to show some different things today too. Okay. Because one of the things, and honestly, when I started doing lives, what I wanted my lives to be focused on is what I called crafty cohorts, where it was me going live with someone, because there are so many great card makers out there that I think it's great for us all to work together and be exposed to maybe somebody you haven't been exposed to in the past. I haven't done a crafty cohorts in a while, simply because my life has been chaos and I just haven't been able to plan it ahead of time. But I will get back to those. But I've always loved having guests on my channel because I feel like it's a great way to see people maybe you haven't seen before. But really, for me, I just love sharing their talent. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. It is a generous, and Bibi does have a kind heart. She does. She's very talented. She actually did this video for me a while ago, and I've been such a hot mess that I haven't shared it yet. But then when I watched her video, I was so inspired that I wanted to go live with the products too. So I'm starting with the musical collection, and then I'll do 2 others after that. Yeah, I miss Aaron Leventhal too. Aaron was the owner of Hero Arts, and I did some chats with him. I'm going to bug him to come back on. I think that would be great. Okay, so let me show you the collection I'm looking at here. So it's a musical collection from Bibi, and it has a good variety of things. One of the things I like is Bibi's in Europe, so she has some 5x7. Some products are great for 5x7 cards, but you could always modify them for less, or for smaller. But I love that they're that big element. I know a lot of you like doing 5x7. I encourage you to try 5x7 or A6 because it's something different, and it really, for me, gets me out of a block of doing the same thing. So I will be doing a variety of card sizes today, and even some shaped cards. Okay, so let me start. I'm going to show you the products, but it's kind of hard to see what they do. Then I'm going to show you some pictures that Bibi gave me, and then we're going to start to create. Okay? Yeah, I do feel better, but my ears are still clogged. It's like being in a tin can. And I messaged my ENT and he's like, take Flonase for a month. I was hoping he could hit me upside the head and it would fix it, but no such luck. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you some of the things. So in her collection, there are a few things. I'm going to show them to you, which is going to be kind of hard to understand without the examples. And then I'm going to show you some examples. And then I'm going to get creating. So if they I know sometimes products don't make a whole lot of sense when you're looking at them like this. Don't worry, I'll show you some stuff. I really wanted to be able to show you a lot of examples because I couldn't use it all because there's just too many things that you can do. Okay, so this is Bibi's musical collection. And okay, yeah, so this is Bibi's music collection. The one that I'm focusing most on today is this large one, which is called the Majestic guitar. So it's this up here. So this creates a big guitar, which I'm going to use a lot because I love it. That will work on a 5x7 card, but you can work it on smaller also. But you get all of the things here, which is lots of options. And what's really cool for me that I thought is the strings for the guitar, you can either die cut or you can stitch them. I'm not going to stitch them today, but in her video, Bibi shows how to do that, and I'll put that up after this. So that's the Majestic guitar. Now there is an add-on, which is this crazy looking die. This allows you to take these Majestic guitar dies and turn it into a box. Okay, so it's a box with a lid, a guitar-shaped box, which I'm going to show you today also. I'm just going to show it very quickly. Then this bottom set down here, it's a smaller one, is a mini guitar set. So you can see there's a mini guitar here and some great florals. So you can use those florals with or without it. There's a die that makes a little shadow, but it has lots of the details. So even though it's mini, you don't lose those details. In this big one, you can see there's lots of details and different options, but the mini one is fun too. Now, I am not using the mini guitar today because Bibi shows a lot of examples in the video I'll put up after this. But I do use some of the flowers. All right, now this one is called the Musical Notes and Pop-Up. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm just, hold on, I wanna make sure, yeah, it's Musical Notes and Pop-Up. I think it's what is Musical Notes and Pop-Up. So this is a really cool pop-up feature that I'm gonna demonstrate. And it has this, I don't know, is this a stave or a staff, or is it both? But this goes along with everything along with the musical notes. So you could do like this going across a card with the musical notes, or you can mix and match them with the other things. And this is a fun pop-up on the inside that works well with these, but also with other products, and I'm gonna show that. This is a really cool die. So this is the Musical Notes pop-up, all right? Then, yeah, this came out a while ago, I think last summer. Then the final die set is the mini musical instruments. This has a keyboard and then a violin, a microphone, a sax, you know, all different types of instruments. I will be using the musical notes later on. So you can see how cool that is. It's a staff. Okay, yeah. I took piano for many years and I hated it. So all of that is erased from my mind. Okay, so those are the four, well, there's 4 die sets and an add-on. And I'll be using some of those. I'll walk you through them. This is the Musical Notes Embossing folder, I believe it's called. The Musical Note Embossing folder. It's a 3D embossing folder, so you get a nice rounded image. I'll be using that. And there is a stamp set. This is called the Family Musical Mix Greetings. Now, there are greetings in here such as this note is for you, never too old for rock and roll, getting better with every riff. A happy note to say thank you, you're simply the best, you rock. Then it has like granddaughter, mother, sister, all that. So you could use those with these or with other sentiments. And I like that it has that versatility. So son, sister, husband, everything is included in there. I'll be using a couple of these sentiments, but I'm also going to incorporate some other products I had in my stash from other companies. Okay, Janie said that stave and staff are essentially the same thing. Okay, because I was confused by that. I thought it was a staff, but okay, yeah, perfect, awesome. So let's get started by looking. Mike, can you just put up some of the Bibi's images? These are all cards from Bibi. So let's see, and a lot of these are in that video that will come up after this live. This right here is the Majestic guitar, along with the add-on that allows you to turn it into a box. So that's a big guitar-shaped box where you can put like a gift card or something inside of it. And you can also see she added the flowers from the mini guitar set and the sentiments from the stamp set I just showed you. All right, the next one. This one has the musical instruments. So this has the keyboard and all the others, and you can see some of the little music notes also. So she did a colorful mix there. I love the piano along the bottom, and it says getting better with every riff. I love that. Okay, next. This is one of my favorites. See the, okay, so let me tell you, the mini guitar is what caught my attention. These examples that Bibi did really caught my attention. So she used the musical notes, she scattered some flowers around it, bold colors. I'm not using that mini guitar today because in the video I'm going to put up after this from Bibi, she uses it a lot. She makes a bunch in different colors. So keep in mind, if you don't want the bigger guitar, there's a smaller one, and look how cute that is. I think it's fantastic, and I love the colors she did. All right, next up. There's a mix of a few different ones, and all of these she shows in my live. Yeah, I love the like 60s, 70s colors she uses here, but again, you can use whatever colors you want. I'm gonna use very different colors. This one is cool. She shows this one in my video. She did a partial die cut edge around the guitar there. So that white you see on the right-hand side is actually the inside of the card. And that's a 5x7 card. But look at how that has a different ornate look to the guitar. Next up, this one is another one I liked with that mini guitar. And then she put the staff going along the background. I just think it's cute with all those bright, cheerful colors. I know, I love the details. And this is the fun pop-up that the musical notes pop-up set does. And I'm going to show you how that works. It's so easy. I actually was going to show you how to make one of these several months ago, and it just was too complicated. And now it's easy with this. And oh, you can save that for later. Okay.
All right. So,
oh, that's fine. That you don't need to show that. I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. To somebody who said they were at the Mama Elephant event, and thank you for the stickers. Yes, I was proud of Christina for doing that. That was a big job. I used to teach live at events, and I don't much anymore. I don't really anymore. But Christina taught live at a Mama Elephant event this weekend, and I'm proud of her for doing it because she hasn't really done it much, and I'm sure she rocked it. And I sent her some stickers to give to you all. I hope you had a good time. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Majestic guitar, and I'm going to put a guitar together. Then I'm going to show you 3 different ways to use it. Okay? And I've prepped a lot ahead of time. So I'm going to demonstrate putting one together so you can see how well thought out it is. Then I have a few others that are already completed that we can do some fun things with. So this is the Majestic die set right here. It makes that giant guitar. Remember the mini one, if you prefer the mini size, Bibi did a lot with that in the video I'm going to put up after this. Now let me show you. I did this one yesterday. This one's going to my husband. We celebrated his birthday yesterday, but I haven't given him his card yet because this is it. He plays and builds guitars, and so does my son. So he'll get one too. And one of the other ones will go to him. So this is the Majestic guitar. I'm going to show you how to assemble it and then 3 ways to use it. This is more of like a traditional colors. The first one I'm going to do is all blues because I wanted to, okay? But you can do a traditional color if you want to. And I will show you something fun to do with that. But first, let's do the guitar. And I die cut all the pieces, and I kind of started thinking through all of it so that I didn't waste your time. And I will talk about the different things you can do. Now, I used all Spellbinders cardstock today. Spellbinders cardstock, I have said many times, is one of my favorites because it is super thick. It's very heavyweight cardstock. You can use it for bases, and it is smooth. They designed it to be smooth so you can easily do ink blending or foiling with like your glimmer machine on it. So I use the Spellbinders cardstocks a lot. I'm mostly using that today, but I do throw in a few other companies with it because I don't think anybody needs to stick with one. Just use the colors you like. So for this one, I just wanted to let you know, this original one, I used for this outside, I used Concord and 9th wheat cardstock. And then the brown that I did with it, like this darker brown, I did Spellbinders acorn. Okay, so this is Spellbinders acorn for the details. And then this background is Concord and 9th wheat. Now I'm going to demonstrate assembling the guitar just so you can see how to do it. And this I did with Spellbinders cardstock. I'm going to actually use these colors again later. But you have Cascade, Celestial, and Cosmic Sky. And these go really well together. I'm going to use them later. On this guitar, I'm using Celestial and Cosmic Sky. Okay, yeah, their cardstock's great. They do, he doesn't sell his guitars. He just makes them and then they sit. I think the one that he's making right now, he's going to give to Colin, and that's why Colin's excited about it. I don't know. I don't know. He makes guitars. Okay. So I'm starting, First, I cut from the Celestial this outside die and the inside die with it, which gives you the front of your guitar. And I want it to be nice and strong, so I'm gluing two together. I'm a double, triple die cutter, layer, upper, whatever you want to call. It just makes it nice and strong. All right, so the cool thing about this is there is this die here that cuts the little metal lines that go across, but it also, the dies engrave the little, there we go. Oops. Let me get a piece of cardstock here. The dies engrave the little, or impress the lines where the little silver lines go. Now I'm putting those thin little silver die cuts on it, but you can skip that and do just a silver line with your pen right into the groove. But I'm going to show you how easy it is thanks to having the indentations. And you can see the other little details. I love the details. You don't have to do the details. The key to details for me is using a wax tip tool like this one from Gina K. The 20% off discount is the whole site. It says in the YouTube description any kind of like, you know, like the fine print. Basically, you got to use the code. You got to use the code. So see how I'm just putting a thin line of liquid adhesive right into those little grooves. And then with my wax tip pickup tool, I just pick up a little silver die cut and pop it in place. So some people get frustrated with the details. Totally get it. You could skip these details, or you can use like a silver gel pen. But here's the thing with details. I appreciate when a die set includes them for those of us who like it, but you don't have to use them. So you can see here how easy it is to just pick these up and lay them into it, and I don't have to figure out the spacing because there's little grooves. Okay, so there we have that. There are also little dots that go on the guitar. All you guitar people probably know what all these things are called. I have no idea. I'm just making a guitar. There's a dot here, 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 and here. So I cut those also from silver, and I'll add those in place. I don't think you have to do these, but you know, if there is a detail I can add, I'm adding it. All right. So the nice thing, I didn't put enough glue down. The nice thing about the music stuff is there's that stamp set from Bibi, but I also noticed that I have a lot of music themed stuff. I have some from Simon Says Stamp, but I also, and from Concord and 9th, I'll show you some of those later because I think it's good to mix up companies. But I also realized any of this music stuff you can use with a sentiment that says just a note. They're called frets. Thank you. I think I knew that. I've tried to learn guitar a few times over the years and my fingers get sore and I quit. Let's be clear. I like try once and then I quit. So there is that handle. Now I did another one and I got this black piece here. All of these dies are included. So I will put glue on the back top of this. Now, how I'm putting this together, there's no mystery behind it, okay? On the Spellbinders website, they have like an image that shows point lines, like glue this here, glue that there, this die goes here kind of thing. So I just followed that. The frets of the guitar, okay. Yeah, someday, it's on my bucket list to learn. Yeah, I don't know. Someday. Colin taught himself. He just taught himself. When did he start? Last summer, Mike?
Yeah.
And he plays Christian music and he plays like for his leadership thing and he's really good. All right. So there we're getting started. So there's that. Now we need to finish this guy here. Let me put this in here. Again, all of these details you can skip because if you look, see how it embosses the details? So you can skip adding the die cut and just use the embossed details. Okay. Yeah, I'd like someday, you know, I am not retiring anytime soon, so it won't be anytime soon. Let's just say that. I was considering it, but it's not happening. Okay, so there's this die here that creates all of these details, which again, you can skip. Another thing you can do, I like using this fine tip bottle to add the details. If you don't like fussing with that, you could instead put double-sided adhesive on the back of your cardstock before you die cut, and then it turns them into stickers. And I will show you that later on. But I just use liquid adhesive. I use my fine tip or my wax tip to put it where I want it, and then I use the pointy tip to kind of move it and press it down. So there's that. Now we need this thing. Now there is a, oh, here it is. There is this fancy little get up here that you can add. This little swirly majiggy wiggy. You can add this on the bottom, which I'm not going to do. I do it on one of my next examples. But you can add this right here. So you have like the swirly doodad. Or you can add this little thing. I don't know what purpose it is, but it's on a guitar over on the side. But I'm not going to do this fancy one on here. I'm just going to keep it simple. So I've got this piece here. I'm going to glue it right onto here. And it goes right into the embossed image. Makes it super easy. All right, so now we've got our pieces going. We'll have some more to add to it in a moment. I just threw all those little pieces on the floor. The swirl is fun. And I'll use it here. I'll show you what the swirl looks like on a card. I did it tone on tone on this one. Here's a pink guitar. See the swirl on there? Yeah, for a classic guitar, classical guitar. It's a pick guard. See? You all know all these things. I just love the idea of doing these musical cards with just a note. They're just, I don't know. Mike likes the puns too. All right, so now we need to connect this to here with strings. Now I cut my strings using the die and it cuts this and they're all connected. And this is super, super, super easy. However, there are little holes in here. See the little holes? Where you can actually glue this together and put string, like real string from up here to down here, and actually put real strings on your guitar. That is an option. You can do that. I'm not doing it today to save time. But keep in mind, yes, there is piano. I'm going to do that in a moment. But keep in mind that in the video I'm going to put up after this, a little bit after this live, Bibi shows how you can do the stitching so you can see the difference, okay? I'm not doing the stitching because I thought it'd be faster to not do it. So this is how I put it together. I put a glob of glue into these little holes that are at the top. This die here puts little holes and I put glue into them. See? Yeah, real strings would be fun. But I'm telling you, I think the paper is just as good. Well, if you just want to be faster. So these are connected. So watch, I'm going to take these 3 little knobby doos at the top here and put them in these 3 holes. So I'm going to lay them into those little holes. They line up perfectly, and press them down. And then these 3 knobbies into those 3 holes. Now, you know, if you're a guitar person and you see I assembled some of this not perfectly, they show how to do it on the website. I just kind of went with it. So now you can see those little knobbies are all placed in those little holes and how fast that was. Isn't that cool? There is a violin in the mini instrument set. There is a violin. There's a lot of them, okay? So there we have that. Now, if you want to, you can put these whoop, 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 doop, 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 little details onto there, which I do. I'm doing these in silver on top of those little knobbies. All these dies are included. And see how fast it is to add these with the wax tip tool? I highly recommend them all. I use the Gina K one the most. I've found that it holds up nicely, and there are wax tip replacements available in case you break it. You want to be gentle with the wax tip because it is made from wax. Sorry, my head gets in the way. I mean, think about it. Like a candle, like a little candle is fragile because it's made of wax. So you just want to be a little gentle with it. But I've only broken one once, and that was when I dropped it, and they sell replacements. So now I've got, look at all the details there. Not fun. Hasn't been too long, right? Okay, now to put it together. This is how I found is the easiest way to put this together. There is this line right here, and it goes into that line right there. So I'm going to put adhesive right into this little line, this opening. And I'm also going to put adhesive here because there's engraved lines here that I know my handle thingy will go on, okay? So I take this little line and put it into that adhesive. Lines up into that little groove. It lines up perfectly. And then I press this down up here into the adhesive that I have exposed. And there's my guitar. Now I'm going to put something heavy on that while it dries. So I'll put a magnet here. I work on a glass work surface that's magnetic, and it allows me to put these strong magnets down. See, they're not going to move, and it'll hold it there. So I could have put this down first, but see how nice that works. Does the discount code include sale and clearance items? Let me read you the fine print. It's in the YouTube description below. Musical 20 at checkout gives you a 20% off site-wide. Refunds will not be issued if the code is not entered. Sale items are not eligible for reseller pricing and additional discounts. So no, so you got, this is for all the regular price stuff, I believe. Hey there.
Guitars.
Oh, Ken just saw what I'm making.
Right.
This, I told you I made you a card. This.
There you go.
Okay, there we go.
Lila is upstairs.
Okay.
I went back.
Is she good?
15. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to just put a little final detail here. Have fun.
All right.
Put a little liquid adhesive there. I'm doing a lot of silver. This is silver metallic cardstock from the treasured cardstock packs from Spellbinders. And look at that. Isn't that amazing? Oh, it does include sale in your cart. I'm not sure. Mike, can you see if it works with sale products? Mike will try. But so these are fun because they kind of move like a little bit, but you could do stitching if you prefer the stitch look. So that's how you put the guitar together. Now, next, I need to cut another guitar base. I forgot. Because I'm gonna next show you how to do the box. I'm going to do it pretty quickly, and then we'll do other things. So for the box, I want to create my backdrops. I need to have 2 of them here for how I plan to do this. Hold on, please. So this is the cosmic, celestial and cosmic sky. Oh, it did work with the sale. Okay. Oh, the Cuckoo bundle is on sale already. I'm using that later because I think it's so cute. What was I saying? A celestial cardstock and cosmic sky. And then here I'm using the black. This is heavyweight, so I don't need to double any of this up for what I'm creating. Oh, good. It works with sale. There you go. Okay. I have no idea.
Yep.
Mike said yes. Okay. we'll have some fun because they always have great sale items. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm making a box. So I want the top of the box, the top of the box to be strong. So I'm going to take another one of these, put it on the back, but I also want a black like hole in here. So I could have put this down first, but I'm just going to slide it in there. There we go. So there's our guitar. I could have put details on it, so you could stamp on it. This is, I believe, 7 inches tall. Oh, listen to it all fall down. Yeah, it's just under 7 inches tall. So it works great on a 5x7 card. Another thing you can do is simplify it and do like, see how, like just do this much and have like one coming this side, one coming this side, and one coming this side. That would be cool too. You can also put these, like kind of chop it down. You could put it like that on this is an A2 panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if you want to make a smaller card, you can like chop it down or put it like at an angle. But I'm going to show you some other things you can do. Let's do the box first because they have this box add-on. Okay, so you can buy, this is the Majestic guitar die set. You can buy it alone, you can buy the add-on alone, or you can buy the bundle. But let me show you how to do the box in case that's something you're interested in. Please keep in mind, I'm doing this very quickly. I'm not doing this carefully, I'm doing it quickly just to show you. All right, so this is the box add-on die, and you need to cut 4 of those to make a box. It's this one here. Now on this, you've got these little teeth that you're gonna fold over. Yeah, it does look like a Woodstock poster. So this, I think, would be fun to put a little gift card in with just a note sentiment on it. Lots of things you can do. You Rock works well. Lots of things you can use. I'm going to show you some options later. So I'm folding those little teeth over so they kind of stick out. Now, there are a million ways to do this. I'm going to go with the fastest, and it works fine. I've got some thin double-sided tape. Lawn Fawn has great thin double-sided tape like this. And I'm just going to try to go close to the edge around this. And you'll see like the release paper kind of tears a bit. That's okay. I'm trying to put the double-sided tape around the edge. Other questions, Mike, while I go all the way around here? And I'm trying to go close to the edge. You could do liquid adhesive here, but I don't want to sit here and have to hold it while it dries. So I'm just putting this down.
What size envelope would it fit in?
It would fit in a 5x7 envelope. And keep in mind, 5x7 envelopes do not cost more to mail than the same card if it were smaller. Because think about it. If you go to the grocery store and buy a card, they're almost always 5x7 cards. And those just take regular postage, right? It's more about the thickness and the weight. So this, if you put this in a 5x7 envelope, it'll mail with a regular postage because there's no bulk to it. But I'll show you things you can do. All right, so this is double-sided tape all the way around the edge on the back of my guitar. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that. Now there are many ways to do this. I'm showing you the fastest. So there's these little teeth, and what I'll do, I'm gonna try not to get my head in the way. I'm gonna place the little teeth into the double-sided tape so the flat edge goes around the outside edge on the back of my guitar. Now, it's because I'm curving it, and this is very heavyweight cardstock, it's not gonna wanna stick right away because I'm just using double-sided tape, right? So what you could do is strong liquid adhesive, but I cheat. I just tear off little pieces of Scotch tape and I put it in here. If you rub that Scotch tape down, nobody's ever gonna see it. So I like to stop every once in a while, make sure those little teeth are pushed in, and put a little piece of tape down. And then I keep going around. Sorry, my head gets in the way. I'm gonna hold it up in just a moment, but it's the only way to really get it just right. Hold on, I'm coming. So Scotch tape, if you know, like if you've wrapped a million holiday presents, you know Scotch tape, if you like really press it down with a bone folder, it kind of disappears. So I can go back and do that afterwards, but I'm just putting some tape in here. Another thing you can do is just liquid adhesive and press it and hold it while you go, but I'm not wanting to do that. I'm gonna hold this up in just a moment. Get all the pieces down. I'm doing this messy because I want to hurry. Okay. So what's happening is, see how I'm going, oh, I did get my hair. I got 7 inches cut off a few weeks ago. So see how I'm going right across the edge. All the teeth are on the inside. I can rub all that tape down and nobody will see it, but the teeth are all on the inside. And this just goes kind of close to the edge. Then I take the other half and do the exact same thing. All right. Have I considered doing a live with the Hero Arts Snack Attack? I'm stumped on fun ways to do it. I showed some examples for the Hero Arts Snack Attack in one of my lives. In the last Hero Arts live I did, but I haven't, I didn't use it. But if you go catch that live, I don't know if Brianne's here and if she can show, but I did show lots of examples. All right, so now I've got the other half. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start here at the beginning. This time I'm starting down here and just go around close to the edge. So I'm just laying it into that double-sided tape that I put around. Again, liquid adhesive if you prefer. Can the teeth dye be used to make boxes? Absolutely. You can use this dye to work with, I'm going to put some liquid adhesive in here to put those little together. And I will hold those two ends there together with my self-closing tweezers. You can absolutely make this stretch like around a circle die. Absolutely. They happen to be cut just the right length for this die, but you don't have to use it with this die. So yes, this is one of the dies that can be used for many things that I'm going to be showing you today. The pop-up one later will be good too. Look at that.
So their weekly sale is up to 50% off select dies.
Oh, okay.
So I added that to the page.
Okay, Mike added some sales stuff to our live stream page. So let me tell you how to get to my live stream page. This is something new we're doing, and I'm hoping it's helpful to you. If you go to the top of my YouTube description, you will see the word, or you'll see a link with the word live in it. If you click that and open it to a new page, it'll open up to a page that has at the top all the sales stuff, all the ways to save, and underneath it, thumbnails of everything that I'm using, okay? And if you go to that, you'll see the new sales, the sales stuff that they started. I don't know anything about it. Okay, so there we go. So this is the top of the box. Now, all you have to do is the same thing onto a solid one to create the bottom box. But for the bottom box, I just make the teeth, that little piece that I wrap, go inside from the edge a bit more so that the bottom will fit into the top. Now, I'm not going to take the time to do the bottom right now, okay? I did this one off screen. This was my practice. You can see this is the top like I did right up against the edge, so it's the same thing. But then I did a bottom where, see how I come in more from the edge? I come in more. So the bottom is a little bit smaller around than the top so that this will go right onto it. And you create a box like that. Isn't that cool? So, I mean, I can start going around here if we wanted to. Let me just get started so that you end up with a guitar-shaped box. Isn't that fun? So this is something that I talk about this in lives all the time, that to me, I think what the most important thing companies do is inventive stuff, right? Things that let you craft easier, like with less effort, but also to like stretch your supplies. And in this case, this allows you to turn the guitar into a box. I think it'd be fun for a teacher. You could just do just a note and then put like a gift card inside of it. You could do like an Apple iTunes or Spotify gift card. Do they do gift cards? Or you can put whatever you want inside, but a gift card fits really nicely, I think. So I'm just going to start the bottom here. Other questions, Mike? So notice on this bottom, I went in a little bit further from the edge. Yes, I will use Greeter at some point. I'm just really behind on things at some point. I've used it in the past. I haven't used it in the live, but I love their products. Yeah, guitar picks would be fun too. Yeah, you could put those inside. There was another question, Mike. Can you go back to the questions? I think. I feel, what's that bottom one? Is there a way to have it like a box that flattens on a card front? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, but maybe? I don't know. There's a question about Anna Griffin. What was that?
Oh, I think that was if you're going to use there.
I use the Anna Griffin electric die cut machine often, but I tend to make a lot of her stuff is like pre-printed stuff, I think, and I tend to create my own. But she has beautiful things. I used to use her stuff in scrapbooking all the time. All right, let's see. I'm going to start going around here so you can see what it looks like. If you wanted to make it pop up a lot, you can always do any kind of pop-up feature to make it pop up on the front of your card. I'm going to do something fun with it here in a moment on a different card. But I wanted to show you how the box works. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and put it together because it's going quick. Are there more questions, Mike?
Can you refresh the wax tip?
You can, if your wax tips gets gunky, just wipe it off with a baby wipe, just gently. But I mean, I've had this forever and it will kind of wear down a bit, but it still works great. So I don't have any problems, but you can buy, again, I just found one of my replacement that I have ready when it wears. But listen, I really like these tools. So anyway, I think I can't craft without them. All right, so now I'm starting with the second one. So yeah, somebody asked if you could make other shapes. Absolutely. Do this on a circle. Spellbinders has a really cool sun die set that I love. I think I've shown it in a live. I used it when I taught a class for them. It would be fun to do a box out of the sun because you could use this and wrap it around and just cut it shorter if you need it to be shorter. Oops. All right, I'm almost done. Any other questions, Mike?
Nope.
I try to answer questions when I'm doing something kind of boring so I don't waste your time. Could you partial die cut the side of the box to make it a taller box? I don't know. Maybe. Oh no, I haven't thought about it. Yeah, the guitar strings are designed incredibly well, so you don't have to do a whole lot of effort. Okay, let me put some glue at the top and the bottom here. Uh-oh. Abby wants to eat. Hi. Hi, Erica. Okay. So if you see it on the bottom of the box, it's messy in here, but I could press it all down. See how there's a little ledge sticking out? That way the bottom of the box is bigger than the top of the box and it just slides on. And look at that. Isn't that cute? I love it. You can add flowers to it. You could add a sentiment to it. You can add anything you want to that. I think it's so much fun. But I wanted to show you how the box works. So that is the start. All right, isn't it cool? Okay, so now let's do something else with it. So that's how you do the guitar and how you do the box. Let me move, so like this would be fun to do like little stars on it. You could add little stars, or you can add some music notes on it. Lots you can do. All right, now let me show you, let's do I'm going to show you how to make it a shaped card. So this one I told you about, I did off screen. And I'm going to make it into a little shaped card that stands up really well on display. Somebody asked what silver and gold I use. I like silver matte and gold matte cardstock. There are two that I use often, well, three. For gold, I often use Altenew Simon Says stamp, and then Spellbinders has what they call treasured cardstock packs, where you can get like a gold pack of cardstock, or gold pack, yeah, of specialty cardstock. And in there is gold metallic cardstock, gold glitter cardstock, gold mirror cardstock, a lot of different options. And the gold cardstock in there I love. For silver, same thing. Simon Says Stamp Silver, or the silver from Spellbinders Treasured Cardstock Packs, which is what I used. I used the gold here and the silver on the other one. But let me show you how I make this into a shaped card. This is super quick because I already assembled my guitar. Where is my, what do you call it? Scoreboard. What'd you do with my scoreboard, Mike?
No idea.
Oh, Mike. They're both not here. And I used them earlier. Michael.
No clue.
Mike stole my scoreboard. If you were a scoreboard, where would you be? Ah, you're in my ink blending drawer. I don't know why. Okay, so this one here, I just cut a plain one without the inside pieces. And I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom edge. Okay, you'll see why in a moment. I'm going to cut a little bit off the bottom edge, just a little bit, less than 1/4 of an inch. So now that the bottom of that is flat, okay, now I'm going to put that flat edge along the edge of my scoreboard, and I'll score about a little less than 1/2 inch from the top here. So I'm going to put a little score line up here, right about there. This will be the hinge of my card. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that back and forth. So this is the back side, or inside and back side of my card. Now above this score line or fold line, I'll put some strong adhesive, and I'll lay the front of my guitar down onto it. This will make it a shaped card that'll stand up. Now I'm going to put something heavy on that so that adhesive dries, and while it does, let's put a sentiment on there. Let me show you some of the options you have. So I've got from the Bibi's Family Musical Stamp Set, this one here. You could do a happy little note to say thank you, and like put it right across here, trim it down and put it right across there. You could do this note's for you. This note is for you. Put that right across there. I also did Getting Better with Every Riff. You could put across. But I also had a couple other options. This one is actually from a completely different collection from Spellbinders that I've had sitting out in my sitting out pile. This is the Post Edge Expression Press Plate set. So in here, this is a press plate to use with your BetterPress or your Glimmer machine. There's this postage edge, and you can see how it fits nicely on an A2 panel. Then there is like the script that works cool as a little background. I may use that later. Then there are 3 sentiments, and there's dies to cut out the sentiments. The sentiments are wishing you a day as sweet as this letter. Then there is, I'm reading backwards, a friendly reminder that someone is thinking of you, and then a note just for you. And I thought a note just for you worked for this, and that's the style of it. So that would work across it too. So I really just went through my collection and looked at things that have a note, right? Yeah, you hear Abaco. Another thing that I found, and I may use, I'll show you another option later, is if you took my class with Simon Says Stamp, I used this stamp set and I used it a lot in class. And in it is just this basic Just a Note sentiment. All right, this is the Good Greetings 1 stamp set. It's linked in the YouTube description below. But I took Just a Note and I used the coordinating die to cut it out. And here I've got it gold glitter heat embossed, and here I've got it black heat embossed. And I thought I was going to use one of those. So go through your stash. There's Just a Note sentiments in a lot, and it works great with these musical things. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the gold glitter one. I could do black. That would stand out more. And then I just die cut a little pink heart. I'll show you or it's a red heart that I created from another card that I'll show you later. Hold on, I just got a message I need to check. Good, good. Okay. All right, so this is just going to be a shaped card. Now watch. This is, now that this is dry, this is how it opens. You can write your personal message there, and it stands up on display. The reason it stands up without rolling over is I cut a little bit off the back here, so there's that flat edge. So this stands really cool on display. It'll stand up looking like that. So I think I'm going to do the, I think I like the gold glitter. Put that right across it. You could put the "You Rock," you could put any sentiment you want on here, but I just really like that there with that pop of red underneath it. All right, isn't that fun? So it's really easy to turn that into a shaped card. So this is 7 inches tall, so I'll put this into a 5x7 envelope. I'll move that down a bit. Now, other things you could do, you could keep this a shaped card and maybe like add a star like right in the back here. And then like, let me show you like that. And then put a star like here that these are kind of hanging off of the back of the card. And then a little star like here. So you could do like, you know, some stars along it, or the musical notes from the other sets I showed you. You can scatter those along with it too. So you could do a bunch of these around it. But I decided to skip those and go very clean cut for just a note with a heart. I can also stamp a little happy note to say thank you on the inside, or "You Rock" on the inside. So you could do, yeah, you could do the big musical notes. Oh, another thing you can do is keep it a shaped card, right? But have the staff going across the back. And then have some of your music notes on that. You know, you can do, and have it like that. So a lot of different things. A lot of different things that you can do with it. But I'm just going to go with this. I just want this to be clean. This is going to go to my son, I think. A little message, because he plays acoustic guitar, and I think it's sweet. But you could add more to it. You could put the heart up here if you wanted, or up there. I think just simple's good. But I wanted to show you the different options that you can put. Lots of different options. Like there might have been a troll. I don't know. Somebody mentioned something. Okay. All right, so that is a shaped guitar. So we've done a box and we've done a shaped. Now let's do another one, and then we'll move on to piano. This one, I assembled my guitar, but I'm not really sure. I haven't tested if what I'm going to do will work. So we're going to make a 5x7 card with this guitar on it. Now, I created this with my 3 favorite shades of orchid cardstocks. These are the 3. They're from Spellbinders. They work really well together. Spellbinders Orchid, Spellbinders Mulberry, and Spellbinders Violet. And these go really well with Gina K's light, medium, and dark orchid inks, in case you're curious. And I just made this just like I showed you, but I did add the flourishy bit. Okay? Isn't that fun, the detail of it? Now, I thought it would be fun to use the embossing folder on this, but then also I'm going to make the guitar swing so that there will be a sentiment behind it. I don't know, why not? This is something you can do with different shapes. It doesn't have to be guitar. I wanted a big kind of surprise sentiment behind it, and I found this. This is Concord and Ninth Greatest Hits. It's a much older set. It comes with there's also record dies, but I found the "You Rock" and other sentiments here that would work with the music. So I thought I'd just combine it all together. So I think I'll do "You Rock" on the inside of behind the guitar. So this will be stamped right there, and the guitar will swing so you can see behind it. All right, so let's go ahead and do that stamping, and then we'll do the embossing folder. Yeah, I mean, a lot of companies, listen, no company expects you to stick with one brand, right? You want to have a good variety. You don't want to stick with the same thing, same company. So if you've got some music theme stuff, combine it with this. Okay, so this panel is, this is a little bit smaller than 5x7. And I'm gonna put my guitar on it. And I want it so that the sentiment will be like right here behind the guitar. So I'll close the door on the sentiment and move my guitar out of the way. So it's gonna get stamped right there. And I'll stamp that with black ink. Yeah, you can make the guitars work with, you know, whatever colors you want. The blue one I'm gonna give to Ken for his birthday, and then the brown one I'm giving to Colin. All right, so there we go. But any just a note, like it doesn't have to be to a guitar player. Any music stuff is fun. We all love music. Okay, so there is You Rock. That's from the Concord and Night set. Now, I thought I'd use the embossing folder, and I may regret this later, and I'll explain why later. But if I can find the embossing folder, I'll use it. Did you check on Lila? Is she good? Oh, Mike left me. Okay, this is the musical notes embossing folder. Let me get out my die cut machine here. Remember, 20% off site-wide. If you need a machine, now's a good time to do it. I'm not sure you get better, a better deal than that. I appreciate that they did this. Very nice of them. Okay, so 3D embossing folder. I'm just going to put this in here. Oh, by the way, one of the things I love about Spellbinders embossing folders is you can put a 5x7 panel in there. You can do a slimline panel, or look at this. This is an A2 panel. You can actually put 2 inside of it. Let me get my, and run 2 at the same time. And I love this because you can do bigger, or you can do vertical, horizontal, whatever you want. But I'm doing this panel that's a little bit less than A7, which is 5x7. Run that through. All right. And so look at that texture. See how it's a 3D embossing folder. This is a good example. See how it's like a domed, raised look? Instead of, if it's an old 2D embossing folder, like a traditional 2D embossing folder, there's flattened areas and raised areas. This is like rounded, and I love it. So I thought that would be fun in the background. There's nothing like using any kind of embossing folder on a white background because it adds interest. It doesn't show up well in the video, but there you go. Okay. Oh, I forgot something. Shoot. We're gonna wing it. Hang on. Let me see if I forgot to punch my hole first. Let me see if I have a hole punch, which would make my life easier, but I don't see one. I should have punched a hole at the top center of that before I did this. No, that's not gonna work. Drat. I'll fix it, no worries. Now I want this to swing, so I'm going to create a little hole at the top, and I'll show you why in a moment. So I want this to swing from like up here, like that. So I need a hole up here, right about there, behind the guitar. So right there, put it right there, that's good. Like kind of towards the top center, see? And I forgot to do that. I should have done that before I did my embossing folder, but I forgot. We'll make it work. And if it doesn't work, we'll redo it. Because why not? So let me run this through my die cut machine. And then we will do the embossing folder again. Let me make sure that's centered. I don't want to mess it up even more. Yeah, it's good enough. It looks good enough. Oop. Okay. All right. Now I also have here, this is a piece of the Violet Spellbinders cardstock. This is true 5x7. And I did cut some flowers out of it because it's going to be a matte. No one will ever see it. I end up not using the flowers. But see, I just cut a little circle at the top. Okay? Little circle. Little hole. Any little hole, circle, die would work. Now I did flatten my embossing folder. So what I'm going to do is try to line it back up inside. I should have stamped the image, cut the hole, and then done the embossing folder. But I didn't. No, I didn't do it right. We're going to try it. It may not work. it doesn't work, I can start over. Or we'll just let it go. All right. Does that make sense? Do you see why I'm saying, like, I should have cut the hole first? All right, here we go. I'm hoping this is good enough. Yeah, it's good enough. There we go. I brought it back because I flattened it when I die cut. So I should have stamped, die cut, and then done the embossing folder. All right, now I want this to swing. So this is my 5x7 panel cut from Violet, and this white one is cut to be smaller. So it's about 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And there's this little hole at the top. Now, you have an option here. You could do this using foam circles, but I think just to save time, I'm going to use Snap and Slide. I think they're now called Snap and Spins from Pear Blossom Press. These are inexpensive, highly recommend them. You can get them at Spellbinders, Simon Says Stamp, and Pear Blossom Press. I have them linked in the description below. You could do these, and let me show you how easy. I'm going to show you how easy these are, and then I'll actually use this. These are 2 halves that you, listen, snap together. So all you would have to do is put one here, and then put one on the back. And you can see how it moves freely. And you'd glue it down with foam tape on this little platform here, glue your guitar, and it would slide or swing, okay? But if you don't have these snap and slides, I'm going to show you how to do it with the little foam circle. Foam circles are great. I linked to the ones I use below. To do this, you'll need a bigger circle die. I'm looking at my stash here to see if I have any. Let me cut one real quick. Hold, please. Now, there are a million ways you can do this. You could also, instead of a foam circle, you could use a foam square will actually work fine. Not as well as a circle, but a foam square would work okay. Or you could use a little button, which I've shown many times in videos. Okay, so I just die cut a circle that is bigger than the hole. And what I'll do is put a foam circle right at the center of it. See? Then I'll remove the release paper. The foam circle is at the center. I'll place this around that foam circle. So it's through the hole. The foam circle is a little bit smaller than the hole. Then I'm going to place this down onto the foam circle. So the only thing adhering the guitar to our card is that little foam circle. So it's going to be able to swing a lot. All right. Now let's flip this over, and I'm going to put foam tape around the back. You can do thinner, thick foam tape, whatever you want. I'm going to do whatever I find first here. All right, let me put this around the edge. You could do stacked cardstock here, which I like to do. When I craft, I like to stack cardstock instead of using foam tape because I find it holds up better in the mail and it's less wasteful. But in lives, just using the foam tape, I think, is faster. And I normally would put foam tape in all of these areas so that it doesn't get squished in the mail. But again, I'm just trying to save time. So I put foam tape on the back, except, oops, don't touch that little round circle. You don't want to hinder that. So I'll remove the release paper from this. Now you could just stick this onto your background, but I don't want to just go willy-nilly in there to stick it down. So what I like to do is I put liquid adhesive onto my foam tape first, and I spread it around with my fingers. Oh, my bottle is getting empty. I spread it around with my fingers. That way, all of my foam tape is slick, and I can wiggle it around and get it in just the right placement. Because the foam tape, if I just went right to the cardstock, it would want to stick right away. So by putting some liquid adhesive on it and spreading it around, it makes it slick so you can move around. And I'm just doing this kind of fast, but you'd probably want to put a little bit more. I'm going to have to move fast because I put such a thin layer. Now my head's going to get in the way. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Oop. I'll place this down. Sorry, my head gets in the way, but it helps me to see. So I have that nice little trimmer on the outside edge. There we go. Now that I just need to glue onto onto a 5x7 note card, which are on the other side of the room. But look see how that swings. So the recipient, I mean, they'll see the movement when they take it out of the envelope and they swing it up and it says, "You rock." You could put a little heart there too. On the front, I could do just a note. Oh, where did my black just a note? Here we go. Oh man, down. I could do like little sentiment, but I like how this swings. I'm going to add some flowers to it. So let me show you what these flowers are from. These flowers are from this mini guitar. This is the mini guitar die set down here at the bottom. Makes a lot of mini guitars that I'm going to show in the Bibi's video that I'm putting up after this live. She does a lot of cards with that, but I use the flowers here because I really like them. And let me show you how I put my flowers together. I cut them from white cardstock. So these dies are in this set. Let me just right there. So this set over here. So I cut from white and I kind of layered together, offset a bit. Let me get that. Oh, Foxy. Foxy wants to go out in the cold and I don't know why. Then on top of that, I put a vellum die cut and it just gives it kind of like a wispy look. Then I put the yellow flower center. All right. So there's my little flower. Here's the yellow. I love this yellow. I've used it for years. It's beeswax, Spellbinders beeswax. And here you can see like the wispiness of that vellum layer on the flower. I don't know if you can see it well or not, but it just adds a softness. Yes, this is a 5x7 card. So I think I'm going to do like some flowers up here and some flowers down here. So we'll first start with one kind of hanging off the edge. So I'll put like this guy up here. I like the white flower. Oh, this is the one I just did. Let's do the one that's dry. Let's do one up here. Actually, I want to put some leaves on the back of it first. The little mini guitar set has these leaves too that you can tuck behind it. Yeah, the vellum makes a big difference. I don't know, when else did I do this where I put some vellum? I'm going to use some vellum later. Just adds like this wispy feel that you can't see in the video as much as you can in real life. It's really cool. All right, so I'm going to put this guy up here. Like that. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, and if you wanted it, I wanted the white flowers to kind of blend into the white background, but if you wanted it to stand out more, you could have used like that dark violet color that we used for the mat. So I'll put that one there, and then I like to do like a visual triangle, so I'll put a big one right here. Oops. This is the one I just made and it's not dry yet. Hold please. I love these flowers. I think they're cute. And then I've got this tiny one. Look at that tiny one. It's so cute. I think I'll put him here. And I need one more flower, and then we'll add our little leaves. I'm trying to hurry too much and not give my leaves much time to dry. Aren't these cute though? Just something different. That vellum, I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. Here, we'll put this guy right here. Put him in there like that. Let's put some vellum on here. And the way I adhere the vellum is just to center at the dot of the flower. And then I put the yellow, like a dot of liquid adhesive at the center of the flower. And then I put the yellow center on top of it to hide it. There are vellum adhesives out there, but I don't trust any of them. Oh, I love that. I actually want this to be up higher. I think, yeah, like that. And then we'll do some leaves. Tuck this one under here. I need some leaves coming down here. All right, any questions, Mike? Hit me up with questions while I glue things down. I like to hit the...
Can you use a press plate without a BetterPress?
Can you use a press plate without a BetterPress? Absolutely. And I have shown it many times in videos. I have BetterPress playlists. There are a few ways you can use press plates without a BetterPress system. One is with a glimmer machine, so you can foil with them. In fact, I find press plates foil better than foil plates do. So most companies are actually not making foil plates anymore. Instead, you get press plates, and it does both. The other thing that you can do is also make an impression with a press plate using your embossing mat. And I've done many videos showing that. Maybe Brianne can link to one of those. But yes, you can absolutely use your press plates for other things, by all means. And I do a lot. In fact, using a press plate with an embossing mat makes it look kind of like a embossing folder. All right. Can you give us the estimate size of the box? The box itself here, let me see, the box itself was about 4 by, and I'm just going to the midpoint here, by about 3. I'm sure the website has measurements. All right, so there we go. Look at that. And then I'm going to just add this. I like that bold just a note. I could also do just a note for you, but I want something a bit more bold, and I think this one works. So I'm going to do it again. And then underneath it, it'll say you rock. And then I will add this to a white note card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch note card. Or no, sorry, 5 by 7 note card. And we will have a complete card. I think I want it like right there. Oops. I'm being impatient today. Okay, so this is a 5 by 7 card. And so you can see how this swings. Now, I was concerned that it wouldn't swing well because of the texture of the embossing folder, but it swings wonderfully. Okay, so the recipient can slide that up. You can put more back here, but I think I want to leave it. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Isn't that fun? I'll probably add more leaves because I'm obsessed like that. But look at the wispy vellum leaves, or petals, I mean. I love this little guy here, isn't he cute? And these flowers are part of the mini guitar die set. But you could use whatever you got. So I used a guitar here to swing, right? But you could do a heart. You could do any large die cut there and have something hidden behind it. I've done videos showing this kind of swinging where there's something hiding behind it. Any large die would work there, but I found this guitar worked really well. This is a 5 by 7 card base. I keep a lot of those already prepped and ready, so I can just add this onto the front. And remember, that is the violet cardstock in the background, but there we go. Isn't that fun? So we've got a few different things here. We have the box, we have the shaped card, and we have the swing card. And in the video that I'll put up after this, that Bibi, who created this collection, the video she did, she shows like a partial die cut edge and some other things. And then she uses the mini guitars a lot. I wanted to show you the big ones because I love big elements like this. Isn't that fun? Yeah, you can make these guitars have different styles for different things. You could do ink blending. I just love bold colors of cardstock for my die cuts, but you could do ink blending if you want. Jax, what was her name? His or her name? Jax, J-X?
Yeah.
I get you. I got you. We're here for each other. Okay, next, piano. This one won't take long, but this has a fun pop-up thing on the inside. So I'm gonna make this one, and then we'll move to another collection. And those I have prepped really well, so they won't take long. I wanted to use the piano here. I really like the piano. This is the mini musical instruments. I'm a-looking. Yeah, mini musical instruments. It's this right here. So you've got a lot of different instruments here, but I'm using the piano, and I want to show you how easy it is to use. So I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock. This is the Spellbinders black. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Now you have the option of cutting the piano keys with the rectangle around it or without the rectangle around it. I'm going to skip the rectangle around it. Instead, do it at an angle on this cardstock. So I want the piano on the bottom of my card to go at an angle. Here's what it'll look like. See that angle? So I will start by cutting an angle on my cardstock panel. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm just going to cut a random angle. Doesn't matter. There it is. Now, along that straight edge there, I will line up my piano keys. I'm going to start over here on, hold on, I don't want to do it wrong. I'm going to start over here on the left. I've got it lined up along the top there, a little bit of a trim. I'm going to put some tape on it. Where's my tape? Come on, tape. Here we go. Oh, I've heard people are getting a blizzard. I'm telling you, let's all just move somewhere warm. Oh, you have a Weimaraner. I have Wieslas. Very much the same. Okay, so here we have our piano started. So watch, I can pop that out and look at that. Look how cool that is. Now you could have done it with the rectangle around it, but I'm doing on the edge of this black strip. Now I need it to continue. So I'm gonna put it, I'm just gonna extend it. So put it right there. Make another piece of tape. Yeah, this weather, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. It's 85 in Phoenix. Let's go to Phoenix. Erica and Franny are in Phoenix. Okay. I do want to go to Phoenix. It's something I want to do this year. I want to visit some friends there. Okay. So I just moved it over and here's the rest of my keyboard. So you can do it as long as you want. Isn't that cool? So I want to put that on the music note background. So I'm going to do the music note embossing folder again, just like I did before. If you want to, you can spritz your embossing folder, or sorry, your cardstock first before you put it in the embossing folder. But I don't think it makes, sometimes it makes a big difference, but I just don't want to wait or heat set it. So, all right, so I have my embossing folder. I'll just put a piece of white cardstock in there. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'll run it through. So yeah, I love this collection because it's so different. Oh, it's -20 in Sweden. I'll still go to Sweden. If the sun's out, I'm okay. But the dreariness, I just don't love. Mike, there is a card of Bibi's that has a pink background and a small guitar in the center. Can you find that and maybe share it? Mike's going to share it because I want to show you what she did with the embossing folder. She shows that this, I think, in my video, or in the video she does for us after this live. Do you see it?
I'm looking. Is it a reddish background?
Yeah, like a reddish pink background.
Okay.
I'm just putting glue on the back of this.
This one?
Yeah, see, there's the embossing folder there. Look how pretty that is. She talks about how you can put ink on the raised areas too. It's a great folder, but I'm just doing white on white. I kept it boring. Okay, you can come back here. So I put glue on the back of this, and I'm just putting it on the bottom of a white panel because I figured it'd be easier to glue these keys onto flat white cardstock than the embossed. So I'm just gluing my keys down, and then I'll cut along that straight edge here. And then this, oh, you can tell I messed up on, this is mess up stamping on the back of this piece. I never throw pieces away. Put it on the bottom of my embossing folder background.
Mom said you're going to Sweden next year.
I'm going to Sweden?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know. That's what she said.
Apparently my mom just texted Mike, and she must be watching. She said that I'm going to Sweden next year. You know what this means? This means my mom is watching and that she wants to go to Sweden.
Yep.
And she knows that I don't want her traveling alone, so that means I'm going to Sweden, which I'm good with, but I didn't know. Okay, so now that's on the bottom there. Now I thought it would be fun to do some of the musical notes. I planned this out earlier, so I'm going to take, I like to like lay my little images down. Hold on. And take a photo of it. So like here I laid it down. I kind of planned it out. That just helps me. I have this, just a note again, I keep using it. I know I keep using it, but I just like that it works. But I showed you earlier lots of options you could do for the sentiment. But for me, just a note can be done with a lot of different occasions, and I like having that. So I'm putting a piece of foam tape behind that. Usually I would stack this up, but I don't have additional die cut stacks, so I just put foam tape behind it. Put it right along here, but I'm going to tuck this big orange guy, whoop, to kind of go right behind it, like that. I always like to have my sentiment touching an element. So it's really at the focal point here. And you can see the biggest element is touching the sentiment. Then I'll put this guy like right here. So these are from the musical notes and pop-up set. So this will be the front of the card, but wait till you see the inside. Don't let me forget to do the inside. And then let me glue these down, and I'll put something heavy on it while it dries. Like that. Yeah, the keyboard. Did you see how easy that was to do? I love it. Oops. Thankfully, I'm using Gina K Connect Matte Adhesive, so that won't dry shiny. Okay, so there's that, but I also want to add some iridescent stars. I didn't add these to this. Ooh, mama. Okay, these are inexpensive iridescent stars. Mike, there's some iridescent stars, silver iridescent stars that I got on Amazon that should be on my that you can add to my supply list. Those are the big ones here. I'm gonna add 3 of these bigger ones because these add sparkle, which you'll see in a moment. I think I'll put another one here. So I'll do some of the bigger ones, but then I'll also add, let me put these back in my little jar. If you're interested in my storage or sequin storage thing, it's in my crafty gift guide video. So those were the bigger ones. Now these are the ones that I use the most. I don't usually use the bigger ones. These are from Trinity Stamps, and these are called Oh My Stars. There's gold and silver. But I like these because they're this like iridescent shine that just really catches the light nicely. And that I know it's taking me time to add these, but I think they'll be fun. You'll see how they kind of twinkle once they're dry. I'm not really planning these out very well, but whatever. See how that wax tip makes them very fast to add. Did I put more glue down? Let's put a big mama right there. I'll put a guy right here. What are you looking for?
Look at your product list. They changed the product underneath it.
See how those twinkle?
So it's not there.
I just like how it kind of scatters around the sentiment. All right. Yeah. So this is the front of my card. Now the inside is a whole nother ball game, and I have to remember how I did it because I don't remember. Doobie-doo. Okay. I'm going to grab a side folding A2 card. So this is side folding 4 1/4. But oh, I just spilled my stars. Oh, my stars. I forgot to put the lid on. I love these little guys. Look how twinkly they are. Can you see that? I'll have to clean them up later. Okay, so this is an A2 note card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. But what we're going to do is use this funky pop-up die. I love this. Makes it so easy. Funky pop-up die. This is part of the musical notes and pop-up die set. It's in the description below. So here's my A2 card. I'm going to open it up. Okay? Hold on. Open it up. And I am going to place this funky looking guy right here. Kind of towards the top center on the front of my card. Front inside of my card. All right? And I'm going to run this through. This is fun. You'll love it. All right. Okay. And it creates this little spiral. You can hand make this, but it takes forever, okay? Then, at the center of the spiral, I'll put a drop of strong liquid adhesive and close my card onto it, okay? Now I'll put something heavy on that while it dries, put my magnet on it. Meanwhile, on this guy, I probably should have done this off camera. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm going to stamp a sentiment at the center of it. And you'll see what I'm going to do with this in a moment. Okay, we're going to stamp a sentiment on this. I'll keep the stars. Don't worry, they're over here. Hold on. Now watch. So this is the card. We're going to cover the front. It opens up and it has this little spiral that opens. Oh, didn't cut all the way through. There we go. So see how it's like this little spiral. But I want to have a sentiment in here so that when you open it up, there'll be a sentiment inside that spiral. Mike, can you scroll it? So I'm going to lay this here. Let me get a sentiment. I'm going to use one of the family's musical ones. Where did I put them?
What kind of cardstock would you get in the spiral? What weight?
This is 110 pound, but you could use whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to stamp in here happy note to say thank you. Okay, so I'm lining up inside of that hole that we die cut. And this is just an A2 panel, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I'll stamp that greeting on there. Just stick with me. It's a spiral slinky, yes. These kind of spiral insides have been done for years in the card making industry. This one's just really easy to use and it's part of this die set. All right, so that's the inside. So now watch what I'm going to do. Here's the front of my card. It's textured. I could have stamped it directly onto here, but I didn't want texture on this stamp, so I'm gluing this right to the back of my card. Just stick with me, you'll see in a moment. This gets glued here. Okay, so there's the front of our card. And we have that. Now, here's our card itself. I'm going to close it, and around my spirally doodad, I'll put strong adhesive. Now I have additional layers in there you don't have to do, but it worked for my card. So there's adhesive all around the spirally doodad. Then I'll lay my front onto the front of the card. So now when you open it up, this is what you see. Like this spirally doodad, you can write your personal message here. And what I did is I took musical notes and I just glued them randomly onto my spirally doodad. Okay? And its official term, spirally doodad. Oh, it's called. You just glue little music notes all along it. Okay. Now you could glue butterflies, flowers, anything you want in here. Balloons would be fun for a birthday card. But that way it flattens great, right? And when you open it up, you have that fun on the inside. Super easy, correct? Now I continued on my, where did my card go? Here it is. Okay, so I already I glued a bunch of those on. So I just glued onto my spirally doodad a bunch of little little musical notes, and look at how that looks when you open it. And there's a sentiment in there, right? And then you can write your personal message there. Isn't that fun? So it makes it super easy. Butterflies, balloons, anything you want. But isn't that fun with the music notes floating around? Mike, there were thumbnail or pictures from Bibi. Did you have any where it's the spirally doodad opened up? One's like green on the inside. You can put stars on here. You can put anything you want. Be fun with stars. There's one. This is Bibi did this one. So she put more in it. She did a color on the inside. So that spirally doodad die is part of the Spellbinders musical notes and pop-up die set. It's in the YouTube description below. So you can use the spirally doodad feature with other things. And as I told you, I really like when companies do this, like where they put elements in that can be used for other things. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that fun? Mike needs to play sounds when you reveal a cool card like that. That's just true. Oh, don't tell him. He'll spend hours looking at. Okay, come back here, Mike. He'll spend hours looking at sounds. But isn't that fun? And it flattens because the spiral isn't really layered. It flattens so easily. And Bibi shows more of this in her video, which I'll put up after this. But isn't that fun? So there's the front of the card, and here's the inside of the card. Isn't that cool? I haven't finished the front. This is my example one, but this is how I would do it. This would be neat with black glossy too. All right. Okay. And by the way, if you like all the musical stuff, there's a bundle of all her music stuff. I have it linked right at the beginning of my YouTube description. And you could, if you really like the music stuff. So there's some music stuff. I'm going to move on from the music because we have this guy, we have this guy, we have this guy, and we have this guy. Not bad for an hour and a half, all of those, because I did some prepping beforehand, okay? So that's the music collection from Bibi. A bit after this live, like after I eat, I will put up a video. It will go out in my newsletter that Bibi did showing more things you can do. Because I really feel like you got to have a lot of ways to use a product. All right, so there we go. Now let's do the cuckoo clock next. We're going to do the cuckoo clock because this one won't take very long because I did a lot of the prep. So this cuckoo clock die set, it's called the Cuckoo Cottage, I believe. I've been wanting to use this guy for a while. It's been out for a while. Oh, come on. Yeah, Cuckoo Cottage. So this is the basic cuckoo die set. And I think it's fun. It creates this little cuckoo clock, and we're going to add the little pendulums to it. It won't take long because I've already assembled it. All right. This is the basic Cuckoo Cottage. I told you I was going to do different stuff. The basic Cuckoo Cottage, there are add-ons. There's an add-on for fall, Christmas, and Halloween. Now, I'm not using those today, but they are available in the collection, sold separately. Mike, can you show some of the cuckoo images? Mike's going to show some. These are from Spellbinders, by the way. They said I could share these images. So these show some of the different cuckoo clocks. You can see one is Halloween, one is fall, one is Christmas with little snowman and stuff. So there are add-ons for it, but really you could do the basic cuckoo and add little flowers and such, okay? Are there any more? Or is that it? Oh, and there's more. And there you can see they took the clock and put it on other elements too instead of the cottage. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let me tell you what I did. What I did is I used the Cuckoo Cottage die set to assemble this here. I'm going to hold this up here. Now, it is just gluing together, and you know how I figured it out? I figured it out by following the guide on the Spellbinders website. I did nothing creative with it. I just followed the guide. Nothing special. It's very easy to follow it, and I used a few different colors of Spellbinders cardstock, which I'll show you. But I used just the Cuckoo Cottage set. There is, again, Halloween, Christmas, and fall add-ons that you could get, but I'm not using those today. But you could also, you could do, like, skip the bird and the people and do, like, little flowers on it. You could also use that clock with other things, and I'll show you some sentiments in a moment. So I wanted to make the little pendulum swing on this, which is very easy to do. It won't take long. So let me tell you about the cardstock colors I used. Again, it's just assembly, and they have a, isn't it cute? They have a instructions on how it all assembles on their website under the product. So again, I used Cosmic Sky, I used Celestial, and I used Cascade. For the background, I'm using Windy, which is a nice, like, super light blue. Those four colors go really well together, so you can see them right there. Then for the yellow, I did some pops of yellow. I used Tuscan and beeswax, and that's just for some of the stuff on the people and then for my bird. You can also see I used white cardstock and some gold. All right, so there we have our cuckoo clock that I assembled off screen. Now, for the background, I'm going to use a press plate that I've used many times in videos because I like it so much. It is the Petite cross stitch. Petite crisscross. Petite crisscross press plate. I wanted to do something very subtle on the background. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. It looks like it's not clean, but we're gonna cross our fingers that it is. I have my Windy cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I put a little bit of adhesive on the back and I'll put it into the tick marks. So my cardstock is in the tick marks on the clear plate and my plate is in the tick marks on the background. And I'm taking a super light blue ink. I think I'll do, let me see if this is light enough. I'm hoping. No, let me go lighter. I just want a little interest in the background. Not much. This is Blueberry from Altenew, which is super light. Let's see if this works. It looks like there might be pink ink on here, but I'm going with it. So I'm just inking this up. The way I ink my press plates is I kind of press and kind of twist, which is a little different than stamps. You can use any inks that you want on here, really. There are BetterPress inks, but I don't have them in many colors, so I just use regular dye inks. Let me put it back into the center-ish, put the top on, and run this through my Spellbinders Platinum. Now, if you are new to the BetterPress, I have lots of videos, I have playlists, lots of ways to learn how to use it. It's super easy, and there are ways to use the press plates without the BetterPress machine. You can use it with an embossing mat for a deeper impression, or you can use it with a foil machine. But isn't that, look at that detail. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera. Isn't that pretty? Now that's very subtle. I wanted it very subtle. You can't even see it in the screen. You know what? I wonder if I may have let it shift, but let me try it again. I'm gonna ink it again to make it a little bit darker, but it might have shifted. We're gonna try. If you don't let the plate shift, you can do it again to make it darker, but I might have let it shift. I'm not sure. I think I did. We're gonna try. If not, I'll just repeat it. The BetterPress is awesome. It is awesome. Let's see if I did it. Yeah, it worked. So I made it a little bit darker. See? Little X's. Isn't that fun? Now you could have done anything in the background. I wouldn't recommend an embossing folder for this particular card design because of a technique we're gonna do, but you have that option. So that's the Petite crisscross embossing or press plate. I've used it before. I love it. Remember, everything's 20% off. Now, I want to put this here. I need to trim this down. Hold on, let me do a little trimmy poo. I want this to be a little bit less than 5. So I'm going to do it a little bit less than 5 1/2 by a little bit less than 4 1/4. So it'll go nicely on a white A2 card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. Oh, I'm out of card bases. Well, drats. Can you text Lila to handle that? Okay, I ran out of top folding A2 card bases. So this would get glued onto a top folding A2 card base with a little trim, okay? Now, this is gonna go on here. And I'm gonna start putting on my, oh no, one of my little guys is missing. One of my little hanging doohickey thingies is missing. I created 2 of these. I know I did it. I don't know where it is. Let's see if it's on the back of this. Nope. Nope. Okay. Well, we're gonna pretend there's 2 of these. Okay, so I'm gonna have these hang down. Sorry, you can hear my dog, she wants to eat. Is there a difference between BetterPress and letterpress? BetterPress is the system from Spellbinders that gives a letterpress look, all right? And you can do it with the Gina K Intracut machine, which I have shown in a video, and maybe if Brienne's still here, she can link to that. All right, so let me show you. I'm gonna put this guy up here, right at the top, and I've got this little pendulum guy that I want to swing. All right, this die here has a little hole on it. It's meant for swinging. So it makes it super easy, okay? You could skip this if you want to. By the way, you could just make this a cottage without the clock too. But I want to make this guy swing. So I'm going to put my clock right at the top. And then I want to put this, so it's going to be right, the bottom of the pendulum is like right. You know what? I should do a taller card. You know what? I'm going to make it hang off the top of the card. Why not? You'll see what I'll do in a moment. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to have him hang off the top of the card, and I want this pendulum to swing. So I need to put a circle foam dot or a button right inside of that little hole. So what I'm going to do is take a little, I've got a circle foam dot here that's great. I'll link to the ones I use below. And it's going to go right here on my background. So let me put a magnet here so my background doesn't move. It's going to go like right there. So I'm going to remove all this and press this down right there. See? Now this just hooks around it. Oops. Come on, baby. It just hooks around it so it can swing, see? Now I need to put foam tape over the back of this. I'm just going to put foam tape everywhere. Doobie-doo. I've got these out. This isn't how I usually do it, but I'm doing it for now. Okay, so there we go. So we have foam tape like on the top back of this, and then we have a little foam circle there. If you don't have foam circles, you could do a little button there, but it actually will work better with a button, by the way. If you use a button, see the side of foam tape isn't super smooth, but if you use a tiny button, they're smooth. So it would actually pendulum better, but I don't want to take time for the glue to dry. Okay, so now I'll take this and place this right on top. So there's a foam guy there, and this is just hooked around it. And I'll take this and I'll put it right, I'm going to put it all the way up here, like that. Okay, press it down and then watch, the pendulum swings. Isn't that fun? Super easy. Now these guys, I had another one of these that's really bothersome, but I'm going to glue these to kind of go down, you know, the different, to look like the cuckoo clock. And those will get just glued flat to the background because I don't want them to get in the way of my pendulum. All right. But I'm not going to glue those down now because I want to show you my next card too. But I'll just have a few of these glued to the background, and this guy will swing, but the others are glued flat. Okay. I'm not going to glue those down right now though, but let's put this card base together. What's she doing, Mike? Okay. All right, so let me put this, I'm just going to put on a side fold. I would prefer top fold for this, but I'm going to do side fold because that's what I got. Now, remember this note card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I'm having my little cuckoo clock hang off the top, which is fine, which is completely fine. What I'll do is put it in a bigger envelope. And I talk about this size envelope a lot. This is A6. I love A6 envelopes because they're just a bit bigger than A2. So let's see, I think I'll do I like the gold envelope. So see how I can have something hanging off the top and it'll still fit, or you can put it in a 5 by 7 envelope. So there we have that swinging. Now we need a sentiment. Let me show you the sentiment. Oh, I forgot this. I was going to use Simon Hurley bark embossing folder on my cottage before I put it together, but I completely forgot. That's no fun. I forgot. Sorry about that. But that would have been cool to do on the blue background. Where's my sentiments? Mike, you're eating things. Where'd you put everything? Mike doesn't know. Oh, it's over here. Sorry. So this is the sentiments that go for the Cuckoo collection. This is called the Cuckoo's Cottage Sentiments. So they're press plates. It says well, let's just do them. Let's get my press plates out here. So this is my BetterPress. I'm taking out my crisscross. I'm putting in this one here. This is the Cuckoo Cottage Sentiments. white cardstock. And then there's a coordinated die to cut them out too. All right. Okay. Yeah, I love A6 envelopes too because it gives you more room and you can have little elements hanging off your A2. But I also like making A6 cards bases too, which is for me 4.5 by 6 1/4. That's kind of messy, but whatever. I did black ink, whatever ink you want. Run that through. I did that messy, so forgive me. And then, look at that. Dang it. It always ends up perfectly crisp. Look at that. Look how crisp those are. So there's a bunch of sentiments that go with the Cuckoo. So there's one for Christmas, fall, and Halloween, because remember I said there's add-ons for that. But I like clocking in with thanks, time to celebrate, wishing you a timeless birthday, and you are a timeless friend. Okay. I love BetterPress sentiments because they're just so, so crisp. I'm going to have fun cleaning this up later. Is Cammie still here, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. So now there is a die that comes with it that cuts all these out. Yeah, A6 is a great one, great size. If 5 by 7 is intimidating to you, A6 is always fun too. Is that the BetterPress paper? Nope, good question. I'm using regular cardstock. If you use the Spellbinders BetterPress paper, you'll get a deeper impression. But I'm not really worried about that with this card design, so I'm just using what cardstock I have. So you could see here, I didn't get a super deep impression. This is just regular cardstock here. I didn't get a super deep impression, but there is one there. But I got crisp results. If you want a super deep impression, you want to use the BetterPress cardstock, which is thicker, or watercolor paper. I don't know if I want to do wishing you a timeless birthday or you are a timeless friend. I think I want you are a timeless friend. That's what I'm going to go for. All right, so I'll move those aside. I'm going to cut another of that sentiment, which was the, I think the second one, no, the top one, just so I can stack up my sentiments. So like this one's going to get glued. These will get glued down here directly onto the card. But I'm not going to do that to save time. But pretend those are there, and this one swings, but the others are glued to the background. I have another one of these somewhere. And again, there is on the Spellbinders website, they show exactly how to put all this together. Lots of examples too, because you don't have to do it how I did it. You can give it a less cottagey feel. You can make it a house instead of a cuckoo clock. But listen, you guys wanted unique and different guitar or music and cuckoo clocks. I feel like that's a good start. And the next one's a little different too. So I'm going to put that right there. Look at how that fits nicely. So I will glue these guys down and another one of these. And then I will probably put a little red heart up here. Okay? But you can see how that one pendulum swings. All right. Now I use this die that created that little hole, that little circle at the top that makes it easy to swing. But if you don't have this set and you want to create like this kind of swinging element, use 2 circle dies to create that little thing and have something hanging from it. So you could actually use this on other stuff too. All right. But isn't that cute? And then of course, I'll glue the rest of these flat down and this one will just swing. The 20% is only for today. It tells when it ends in the YouTube description below. It's 24 hours from when I started, I think. Something like that. There you go. And look at all the detail. Look at the detail on the people. They're cute. And the birdie. Isn't that fun? Just different. Just different. I'll make some critters sometime. I want to use lawn fawn soon. I'll make critters. There is a bird in this one. It's funny, when I make flower cards, people miss, you know, other things, and when I make other things, people miss critters, and then when I make critters, people miss flowers. So I really try to make a mix. Like my last live, what was it, Mike? I don't even remember. Oh, I did like sewing theme stuff. But so far we've got a mix here. Now I've got one more, and it won't take long. And then it's dinner time. I do need to glue that guy together. I'm going to do some coffee cups. Some coffee cups. This is another set that I've wanted to use, and I've prepped a lot of it. This set here is called a perfect blend. It has 2 coffee cups. It has stuff to make a stitched heart, but you don't have to stitch it if you don't want to. It has love you, a perfect blend sentiment, let's chat soon sentiment, and some other elements. So I have prepped this some, and let me show you what I got. I'm using some of my favorite colors here. I love this color combo. Let me show you what I got. So this color right here is from Spellbinders. It's really unique. It's called Oceanside. It's like a dark teal that leans a little navy. Can you or Gina introduce Brianne in person online sometime? Brianne, would you want to go in person live sometime? It's up to Brianne. I'd be happy to. Okay. So this is Oceanside. Then this color here, this color here is my favorite, my second favorite of the Spellbinders. My first favorite is Waterfall. My second favorite is called Sicily. It is like this orangish peach that I think is just beautiful. So unique. Now, if you want a color that's a little bit lighter than Sicily, look how well, which one did I use? Look how well grapefruit goes with it from Concord and 9th. So I did my coffee mugs from Concord and 9th grapefruit. And then I did these other darker kind of peach colors from Spellbinders Sicily. So there are 2 mug dies, and you'll see how this all comes together. It's super cute. I already started one, but I'm going to put this one together. There's this piece here. I tore it apart so I could show you. But you just put glue around the edge, and it goes right behind the mouth of the cup. And then there's like an embossed line, that shows you where you can put your coffee or your tea, which is a die that's included in the set. And I'll just pick that up and place it right onto that glue, right where the engraved line is. So now you have 2 coffee mugs that will cheers together. And you can take the 2 heart halves, and they form like a heart there at the middle where they tap together. Now, if you want to, which I'm going to do, there are stitching elements. So you can do the hearts with or without the stitching elements. So I use the stitching die. And so it has these little holes. I'm going to show you how to stitch it. I've already stitched one. I'm going to go ahead and glue it now while I stitch so that it has time to dry. I'm going to put some liquid glue down, and I just put the stitched half on top of the solid half. And I'll put something heavy on it while I do the stitching. Question, I'm not getting the BetterPress look even with BetterPress cardstock. Any tips? Yeah, you could try an extra shim. It always depends on your machine. Yana Smakola, who works for Spellbinders and is one of my favorite crafters in humans, she has a lot of BetterPress videos, and I bet she would have some answers for that. Okay, so I have here, this is DMC floss, which is what I stitch with. You can use any string here. You could use like a thin gold thread. I have 2 ply. I would probably, if I did this again, use 3 ply together. But I have 2 ply, and I put it onto my needle, okay? And then I'm going to take the end of it, and I'm going to tape the end of it on the back with a little piece of Scotch tape. There are other ways you could do this. This is the fastest. So I just tape the end of my string on the back with a little piece of Scotch tape. I just think that's the fastest. Then I go up 1 hole, down the center, up the next hole on the edge, I'll hold it up here, down the center. So you can see the die gives you little lines coming from that center circle from the center hole. So you just, oh shoot, sorry. Oh dear. Okay, the eye doctor. So see how there's those little rays that go out from the center hole? That's where you stitch. So I'm down the center, I go up the next hole on the edge, down the center. Next hole on the edge. Hard to do from this angle. Down the center. Now, if you've never done this kind of stitching with Spellbinders stitching dies before, I've done many videos, okay? All right, sorry about that phone call. What is everything making noise? I usually turn that off. So I just keep going from the outside to the center, and you'll see it goes really fast. So Spellbinders has lots of stitching dies like this that are meant for stitching on cardstock. I really enjoy them. They even have a subscription that you can get one every month. But on this one, it just adds some fun details to this heart, but you don't have to stitch. Yeah, I like the stitching too. Now this die, I don't think I would cut this from felt. I think it's too intricate. It would probably tear the felt, but you could try it. I saw somebody ask earlier if Spellbinders felt is any good. It is absolutely great. It's a good quality felt. It's a wool felt. And I use it, so just randomly I remember seeing that. Brianne just put into the chat, because Brianne is awesome, she just put my stitching playlist of videos in the chat, and you can watch how I stitch on paper and how I stitch on felt. But this is really basic, outside to the inside, and then I just put a little piece of tape at the end. So now I've got this little bit of stitching. I could have made it a little showy with like a silver or gold thread, like a thin thread, but I just wanted it tone on tone. It just adds to the handmade feel. So now this I'll glue onto the solid one, the solid half of the heart. So it's just got a little backdrop. And then these will get glued onto my mugs. And I'm going to show you a trick with vellum here in a moment. So this gets glued right, there's an embossed line that shows you where this gets placed. If you look at the coffee mug, see how there's an embossed line for the heart? Okay, come on. Here, let me turn it off. Okay, I got it turned off. Sorry, what? The first was the eye doctor. I don't know who the second one is. All right, there we go. Okay, so now I have my two halves. Isn't that cute? Now, I want to do something fun to the background. This is that oceanside cardstock that I think is so cool. I'm going to use one of my favorite embossing folders from Spellbinders. I've used this one before. It is called the Petite Tufted 3D embossing folder. For a long time they had this one, but a bigger pattern. Now they have the Petite, which is even better because it goes so nice on a small card panel like this. And I love it. I just think it's beautiful. So I put my oceanside in there. This is a bit smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. All right. Again, why am I using this die set? I just thought it was really cute. I think it could be used for a lot of occasions. I also wanted to do something fun with the vellum on it and show a little stitching and just use a product that I've been wanting to use. See how it tufts it? It looks like it's pillowed. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I don't usually have my ringtone on. I'll tell you why. Last night, my son texted me in the middle of the night with a question, and I felt bad that I didn't hear it till the morning, so I turned it on, and I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so there we have my little coffee mugs. And then in the die set, there's this love you, and it works perfect for looking like steam coming off of it. Okay, so I think I'll put my coffee mugs like right here, like there, and then these will look like kind of steam coming off, but I will put steam behind it. Just give me a second. So I think I'll do it like right there. So let's put a coffee mug here and a coffee mug here. I like how they like cheers together, and even the coffee or the tea in it is tilted. Okay, Okay, so there we go. But you could use them next to each other, just fine. That's cute. Okay. Nope, color fun. Now, let me tell you what I did here. I used this Love You die, which you could use on any card. But this is white cardstock, and I put Altenew double-sided adhesive on the back. Then I die cut the Love You. That way, when I take it off, it has adhesive on the back, so it's like a sticker, which is so much easier with these intricate dies, right? It's just gonna save me some time. You could just put liquid adhesive on the back, but for this, it'll just save me some time. Yeah, this is a great embossing. It just works with a lot of things. Okay, so I'm gonna put this like coming up here, I think, like that. So, love ya. And remember, there are little sentiments in here that cut a perfect blend or let's chat soon, but I'm just going with the love ya. I could put that on the bottom when I'm done. We'll see. I just like that there. Okay, so I stuck one down. To get that to stick, you just use a bone folder to really press that adhesive down and it'll stick. Now, I also have these little, you can see the die here and here that create like the little steam coming up. One of the steams is like heart-shaped, and then there's these little random ones. So I want that to come up too. So I'm gonna put it on top of my Love You sentiment. So I'm putting liquid adhesive on top of the Love You. Just bear with me. And I'm placing the heart right onto that. So it looks like steam coming up. Hi, Cammie. Okay. So I'm going to put these little steamy guys coming up. These I just cut from vellum, and so I'm gluing them on top of my sentiment. And you can make these go whichever way you want. I'm just kind of doing kind of randomy here. Let's see. Let's put this one up higher. And then I'll put one like here. So for me, I don't like using vellum, as I mentioned earlier, unless I can hide the adhesive. I do not trust vellum adhesives. I feel like they always show. So I use tricks to hide it. So right now I'm gluing my vellum on top of my white die cut that says Love You. And you'll see how it all works in a moment. So I've got all these little steams coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cammie. Okay. Let's see here with this guy.
Okay.
Right there. We're doing guitars, cuckoo clocks, and coffee mugs today, Cammie.
So cool.
Okay, and then this guy down here. Okay, so there's some steamies coming up, see? There's my steamies coming up, the vellum steamies. Isn't that fun? Now, I have another Love You die cut that has the adhesive on the back already that I'm going to put on top. That way, my little vellum steamies are sandwiched between, and my die cut Love You is like layered and stands out nicely. Okay, there's my little steamies. You could make some go higher too. Maybe I'll do that. Well, I could. I'm not going to bother with it right now, but you could make some come higher. There is also this, which I should have put down first, but I can make it work. So this is like the little T-string. This will be cute. It's worth it. I'm going to hook the end in here. I should have assembled this into it before. We're going to make it work. Right? Come on, buddy. Get in there. There we go. That kind of hooks on the edge. And then this comes down here, like that. Down to there. And then there's this little tea bag thing with the heart in it. And I used like a red cardstock here. So that can be hanging out there. And then we'll do one on the other one too. Isn't that fun? You know, why not? I saw this, I thought it was cute with the stitching, and I thought the vellum would be really cool. kind of sandwiched between the words. So I'll make this one kind of go a little different. I don't want them to be the same. Put one little drop there. And then this guy, go right, yeah, like that. There we go. Now that can go onto an A2 note card, 4¼ by 5½. Remember that oceanside background is trimmed a little smaller. I probably would add some little gemstones on here somewhere, but right now I'll just leave it. And that little heart you can put anywhere. Like you could put the heart halves together closer and just have it go, like a border of them go down the card. But look at all the detail there. I love the floating vellum, the stitching, and then that tufted background. Just things I've wanted to use. Now this one would be fun to have a gift card in there for, you know, a coffee shop. But I just thought that was sweet. So that's the Perfect Blend die set. All of those dies are included in it. And then you can see there's also these dies that cut the little sentiment strip that says a perfect blend or let's chat soon. And you could put that in the bottom, but I really like it as is. Some things you could do an embossing folder on the coffee mug first. So you have like a textured coffee mug, but I really wanted that background to be that tufted in a really bold color. Isn't that fun? That's the Perfect Blend. I believe this was one of the subscription ones that's now available separately. Just wanted to use it. So there you go, three non-floral collections. This one's not done. I gotta glue these guys down. And then, let's see, we have guitars. By the way, I'm gonna do a giveaway here in a moment. To be eligible for a giveaway, you just need to leave a comment in the chat. If you've been leaving comments along the way, you're fine. You're already eligible. There we go. And those are some of the things we made today. On my list of things to do tomorrow is take pictures of cards and put them up. So I'm hoping to get those up. Yeah, you probably, if you are a club subscriber at Spellbinders, you probably got a Perfect Blend, but now it's available separately. And remember, right now it's 20% off over at Spellbinders using my code below. That's an exclusive code for all of you. Very generous of them. I thought it was only going to be on the music stuff, and they decided to do site-wide. So remember, it's only for a short time. All the information for that is at the top of my YouTube description below, but you have to use the code in order for it to work. Look at, I've got stuff stuck over on my sleeve. Yeah, isn't that fun? Just a lot of different things. And I incorporated some other products, like this Just a Note is from Simon Says Stamp. And this under here, the You Rock, that's from Concord and 9th. So, you know, you can always incorporate different things together. So there you go. Giveaway. They don't do gift cards, do they, Mike?
No.
Okay. So giveaway. I will send, I'm making a mess. Remember, let me show you craft stacks real quick. Because if you're shopping, this is a good time to stock up on craft stacks. I've got a ton of them. So we have, this is the medium size craft stack, and this is the large size. And you can see the medium is half the size of the large, so they stack together well. There are also lids for them. They come with lids. I just don't always use the lids. They stack with or without the lids. And I really, really like these. Every project that I worked on today, all my pieces were in one of these. I have more than I care to admit that I keep buying, and I'm gonna buy more with this sale too. They're just so handy to have. So the craft stacks is something over at Spellbinders that I really, really highly recommend. All right, so let's see. The giveaway, I think I will do, I'll send 3 Spellbinders 3D embossing folders, because I was mentioning how I like the size of theirs because it's big enough for a big card. So I'll then the winner gets 3 Spellbinders 3D embossing folders. So leave a comment if you are interested in winning. I'm just looking to see if there's any questions. Did you do a video with the Spellbinders Wizard of Oz? No, I have not used the Spellbinders Wizard of Oz collection or their Winnie the Pooh. I need to use them. I just haven't had time. They also have the Steamboat Willie collection, which I have used some, but they've come out with like add-ons for it that are fantastic. So if you're looking for any of those kind of classic images, they have them. Yeah, aren't the craft stacks great? But keep in mind, there's a lot over there on Spellbinders. Cardstock. We always need cardstock, right? We always need cardstock. Oh, you should see the mess I have. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I got a lot done in 2 hours and 15 minutes. Did a lot of prep. All right, yeah, thank you to Spellbinders. They're awesome. Yeah, you can watch this later, but keep in mind that the special offer is only for 24 hours, and that information is at the top of the YouTube description. And as a reminder, as Mike picks a winner, as a reminder, this evening, I will be putting up a video made by Bibi Cameron, who is the designer who did the music line, and it shows a bunch of cards that she created too. So it'll be on my channel. I will send out a newsletter when it's available, but it's a great video. Bibi does a great job, and you can see some of those examples that I showed you at the beginning of the live are in that video. And so I'm hoping to put it up in about an hour. I look like a peacock. Anyway. Okay, Mike, do you have a winner?
Just a second. Yeah, I do.
He's picking a winner.
I was just getting ready to put it on the pen.
While you do that, somebody asked the difference between BetterPress and letterpress. The BetterPress system is like a faux letterpress look from Spellbinders, and it's a fantastic tool, and many companies are coming out with press plates, and there are many things you can do with it. I do have many videos going into all the details of that. I use them in almost every live. I use a press plate in some way or another. Yes, thank you to Brianne. Yes, the discount code works in the Spellbinders UK site. Yep. Oh, my son in the middle of the night wanted to let me know that his phone wasn't working. I shouldn't say it was midnight. And you know, college students, they're always up. So I got the text. Anyway. Okay, Mike, you got a winner?
Yes, it is.
Who's the winner?
The winner is Colette Smith.
Colette Smith. Colette Smith. You are the winner of 3 Spellbinders embossing folders. Go to my website and go to the feature tab, and under it you'll see contact us or contact me, and you just give us your address and we'll get that sent right away. I always lose the top of my glue. Anyways.
And I pinned the mess.
Mike pinned the winner at the top of the chat. All right. I do have a college student. I do. Yeah, I do. I am very much old enough, trust me.
And 2 past college.
Yeah, and I have 2 past college too. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Okay, as for the next live, as of right now, I am planning to go live on Wednesday. However, we're going to see. We're going to see. So that is scheduled Wednesday at 3 o'clock. I believe I'm going live Wednesday and Thursday at 3. And I think that will happen. Right after live, I crash. It's like I go upstairs and I don't want to talk to anybody. I just need like 20 minutes. And then I'll think about it. But yes, I'm planning on going live Wednesday at 3 and Thursday at 3. So there you go. I really appreciate you guys spending this long with me. I hope you had some fun with these cards, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Take care.